know that normally you're used to hearing me talk about Texas towns and how they got their names, and I have quite a few still to go. But this year, as y'all know, there have been quite a few changes. So we're going to have Angelica Patron. She's also on our speakers committee. But there are going to be quite a few changes, and there have been, and things are still fluid. But with that, I'm going to let Angelica talk to everyone about the rodeo and mention some of the upcoming changes.
So before I get started, I just wanted to thank everyone for having me here. I'm going to talk to you about the experience of the rodeo. I'm on the speakers committee this year, and there's a lot of changes, like Genevieve said, and there's a lot of things that are still hopefully going to happen. So I'll talk about that. But before we get started, I just want to learn a little bit about everyone that's here today in the Rotary Club. I did this for the last meeting, and it was really beneficial because then I really knew my audience, what everybody does for a living. So you can take just 30 minutes to introduce yourselves. And let me see, last time I could see sort of a list of names. Let me see if I can do the same this time. I can sort of see people's names. So
do you want us to do it in chat or something like that?
No, not in person, but on the phone is fine. So I'm just going to call names and if I miss anybody, just a quick 30 seconds, your name and what you do for a living. I heard there's lawyers, a lot of people are on committees and doing other things. So I just kind of want to know my audience. It's helpful. So maybe Mary, you pop up first on my screen.
First in your mind, first in your heart.
There you go.
My name is Mary DeBoche. I am the executive director of a nonprofit called the Cody Stevens Memorial Foundation. We do heart screenings in schools to protect young people from sudden cardiac arrest.
Okay, wonderful. Will Ulrich?
Yes, I'm Will Ulrich, and I don't do anything. I'm retired.
I love it. Do you have any hobbies?
What?
Any hobbies?
Any hobbies?
Oh, yes. I take my wife's retirement money and put it in my bank account.
Yeah. I bet she'd pinch you if she was right there, but anyway, thank you. Okay, Vanu?
Well, I'm retired as well. I'm a chemical engineer turned IT guy, and I've been retired for the last 4 years, and we travel a lot, and we go to the rodeo every year.
Very nice. Love it. I hire IT folks all the time, so familiar, and engineers. Okay, Bill?
I practice oil and gas law, and I would love to be retired, but I'm still heading that direction, but not there yet.
Okay, very nice. I have a heart for oil and gas. I've been in it for a long time. And people think I'm crazy, of course, with a lot of layoffs and ups and downs through the years, but I've been able to hang on. So
what do you do in oil and gas?
I am currently, I was going to share that in a minute and it just went away. So I am responsible for all of the professional hiring and craft hiring of onshore for McDermott. Okay. So I used to have a team of 40 people. Now I have a team of 7. So it's a little bit challenging, but I'm lucky that I'm still there, to be honest.
I understand.
All right, Sheila.
I'm Sheila Franklin. I'm retired, but when I worked, I had an employment agency and a temporary agency. And since then, I've been volunteering mostly with Rotary. And I am the district secretary for the next 3 years.
Oh, nice. It was funny. This is weird, but when I saw you speaking, I was thinking, you know what? I want to do what she does when I retire, and you kind of have done what I am doing, which is staffing. And then I did work at a temporary agency, so I know your business well. So, okay, Wayne.
I'm a retired educator, past president of the Spring Branch ISD Board of Trustees, and former principal of Memorial High School for 25 years.
Oh, nice. My husband's 2 children graduated from Memorial High School. That's 4.
And do you know what years?
Recent, last couple of years.
No. I left Memorial in '88 and went to the administration building as superintendent.
Okay, very nice. Congratulations. Kathy?
I teach human resources at the HR Institute at Rice University.
Okay, very nice. So I can learn a thing or two from you. Okay, let's see who, George.
So I'm the executive director of the Outreach Center of West Houston, which is a small nonprofit community center.
Very nice. Nice to meet you. Bill, I know I met you at the last meeting. You're doing the fundraising.
I'm a veterinarian at Clinic, and as of February 5th, I will have been there for 46 years. I say that I was tired yesterday, and if I'm tired again today, I'll be retired, but I'm still working.
Very nice. Nice to see you again. Ashok?
Well, I'm currently retired and having the best time of my life, enjoying it. And I'm quite active in many community organizations, including Lighthouse of the Blind, our Rotary Club, our chamber, Indo-American Chamber. Basic interest is in advancing literacy for those less advantaged children who we can help and change their life.
Very nice. My grandfather was a big advocate of the House for the Blind. He had everything. He had his own home office, and he always showed us the tapes and everything. So I'm familiar. Very good work. Keely?
I am the Business Development Director for Brookdale Senior Living. I also am on the board of APS. I'm also on the LGBTQ for Seniors Council, and I'm a Rotarian with Memorial Spring Branch, and I also sit on the board with them.
Okay, very good. Let's see, all I see is JW. So that's probably your initials over there. You're on mute. Hold on, let me see if I can unmute him. No, I can't. You're on mute. Okay, well, let's see. Okay, we'll go to Dakota and then we'll come back. I saw Dakota's name. Hello.
Hey, so yes, I'm Dakota Stormer. I am the CEO of Footprint App Inc., which is a company that does enterprise software engagement tools for climate and environment for big companies as well as schools. So we'll like work with, schools to educate students and kind of do like similar like the canned food drives, but instead like climate action based stuff.
Okay.
Same things in companies, we do that. And I'm also an engineer for Shell. So also oil and gas. And so I do.
We're making it.
Yeah, I know. Well, for now, I'm an engineer for Shell.
I know, right? I told somebody in the elevator today, I'm like, don't put me on a list. I'm an HR. I don't want to be on any list.
I know. Oh my gosh, it's a hard time right now. I'm definitely but yeah, making it there. Soon to be full time doing Footprint. Thankfully, things are looking up there. Just at the time that I would probably need to shift, right? So,
okay. Well, very good. You're in multiple things, which is always good. Okay, Angelica. I like your name, by the way. It's one letter different.
Yes, I know. Hi, I'm Angelica Schmidt-Lang. I'm also a lawyer, but I don't practice anymore. I am the executive director of a German school. We teach German to children, teens, and adults. And of course, we're doing everything via Zoom now, which being in Houston is really pretty good because now we're getting people from outlying areas who never were able to come to us because of the traffic. I'm also on the board of the Houston Leipzig Sister City Association, of which I'm a founding member. And we've been in business there for 26, 27 years. And I'm a Rotarian.
Oh, nice. Very good. Nice meeting you. Let's see. I know I might have skipped some people because my line keeps on moving. Wolfgang. I don't think I have Wolfgang.
Okay. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
I am Angelica's husband.
Oh,
but
hello.
But at 85, it's mostly retirement. I was involved in pipelines all over the globe most of my life. And if I can follow up projects, I still do it. But the trade policy in the last 5 years was not very promising. We'll see what comes out, and if it doesn't work, I will continue to enjoy retirement. And Angelica takes very good care of me.
Oh, very nice. We like you, Angelica. Nice to meet you. Genevieve? Oh, she's eating. Okay, let's go to.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I know it's lunchtime.
Hey, this used to be a lunch program. You caught me with my mouth full.
I know, right?
Yes. Well, after 20 years of audio visual designing, installing, I went into real estate about 8 years ago. And so now I'm a 24/7 realtor. And you name it, I do it.
Nice, very good. Nice meeting you. Okay, there's I think one person which I only see a phone number. So if I didn't call your name, please, John. Okay, John, I didn't call you.
Oh, okay. I'm John Moyel, and I'm retired. I used to be in international ocean transportation, but been retired now for about 10 years, and been Rotarian for quite a few years.
Okay, very nice. Nice meeting you. Robert?
Well, I'm actually plain old Bob. Not
Bob.
Robert,
I officially called you by your official name.
Yeah, I know people do that, but I'm a lawyer, also do wills and probate, and I'm a life member of the rodeo. So.
Okay, nice. Thank you. Okay, I think I only skipped one person. So if I didn't call your name, there we go. He was on mute.
Hi.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, this is Lindsay Kroll. Irene and I are driving to Colorado, so I dialed in, and I'm a real estate investor.
Okay, where in Colorado?
We're going to Crested Butte.
Okay, nice. I will be in Silverthorne on Saturday night. Not too far.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, finally got off of mute.
There we go.
I'm Joe Tees, formerly with Tees Nursery, retired volunteer with Project Cure. We collect medical supplies and send them to third world countries by the container load.
Very nice. Thank you so much. So very nice meeting all of you. I thought last time I did this, it was much more beneficial. Otherwise, I'm talking the like little squares on the screen, which is not as personable as if we were at lunch and we could shake hands and hug and things that we're not supposed to do anymore. So things have changed in the world. Okay, so now I'm trying to do the little tiles smaller because now I can only see everyone except for my presentation. So let me move the tiles over. Okay. So just to tell you a little bit about myself, so you know who you're talking to, I'm an avid cyclist. This is when I used to dress up to go to the rodeo. So, you know, you wear everything rodeo, of course. We just went to Boot Barn yesterday and I wanted to buy things, but now the rodeo has moved. The dates have moved, have shifted to May 4th. So I am on a cycling team called Southwest Cycling Team, and I cycle about, let's say, 40 miles a week on the weekend, and then we do sometimes an additional 40 while I'm still working. So if I can work from home, I try to do that with my husband. I've done the MS 150 fundraiser, which is a bike ride from Houston to Austin, probably 6 times. And we were going to do it last year with McDermott, but of course that got canceled, shifted, moved, and canceled again. So hopefully we'll do it this year. And that's a fundraiser that brings awareness to MS. I'm on the mentoring program for women in staffing and engineering and employment. So just helping women that want to move up in the oil and gas world, and, you know, mainly recruitment, which is what I do, or HR. And then it's a non-for-profit organization. And then right now I'm on the Global Network Strategic Leader as for the Global Network at McDermott. And formally, I've been a volunteer for the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. It's fun and it's for a great cause. And like I said earlier, I've been in HR for over 15 years. I don't think I want to go past 15 years because that totally dates myself. So try not to date myself. But I love it. You know, being in Houston, we're in the hub of everything. So I think it's really good to be in that industry, and I love it. And like I said, I got married May 30th, so my name did change to Reed. And I coined myself a COVID wife because we got really lucky and squeezed in between shutting down and opening Houston. Okay, so today, just a little bit about what I'm going to talk about, the whole experience of the rodeo. So I'll talk about a little bit about the history, the pillars of the rodeo, the grand entry, events leading up to the rodeo, the 8 competitive events, and some other entertainment. But really, I'm here today to inspire you to come visit the rodeo. And I've loved the rodeo since I was like in kindergarten, got to dress up for rodeo day. So I'm hoping, and I know that a lot of you are Houstonians and understand my enthusiasm for it. So just a brief history of the rodeo. The rodeo has been around for over 80 years. And really, we bring entertainment, charitable opportunities, and education for children. And it is a Western tradition. So the 4 pillars of the rodeo are agriculture. And a lot of times, honestly, I could talk about this one slide probably the whole day. So I know I only have like 15 minutes, so I'll try to hurry. But if you go do any of the events at the rodeo, there's so much. The agriculture, raising calves, rabbits, animals, heifers, you know, all sorts of things. They have the birthing center there. There's so much to see. Education. So since 1934, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo has raised over $500 million for Texas education for youth. Entertainment. So I don't know if, let me see if I can see y'all again with my tiles keep on moving. That's the only difference between having live and there we go. Now I can see y'all's faces. But I guess you raise your hand if you've seen this guy at the rodeo, George Strait. He's one of my favorites. So I've seen him like 8 times. And then of course, then he stopped going to the rodeo, but entertainment, they have entertainers at all times at the rodeo. And then Western heritage, and I'll talk about all the different events, but we all love to see this when we go to the rodeo. So the actual meaning of the rodeo itself, the word rodear, means to surround or go around. It's a competitive sport that arose with cattle herding in Spain, Mexico, Canada, and New Zealand. So today we'll basically cover the American style rodeo, or else this would be more like a history lesson. And then really the entire experience. So if you've been to the rodeo, which I'm sure many of you have, it's really, as soon as you walk in, it's all the sights. You know, it's like the big merry-go-round, all the lights, all the sounds, all the smells. When you walk through the carnival, I know everybody has eaten one of those big turkey legs, and if you haven't, probably one of those fried pickles. So all the tastes that there is to have there. And of course, nothing is small in Texas. So everything's going to be brought at a Texas size scale. So there's rodeo action, there's livestock shows, there's shopping. And I don't know if y'all like shopping, but if you're like me, you love to go to the arena shopping. You can spend quite a bit of money there, and then you don't even know where to put your bags. Or the carnival, or some of the star-studded events. So these are the new dates. If you want to write this down, the rodeo will be May 4th through Sunday, May 23rd this coming year. And the grand entry is really the start of the rodeo. So this is when the gates open and the rodeo starts. So I found this in one of my, I don't know if you can tell what all this is, but this is the Astrodome where the rodeo actually used to take place. And this pretty much will tell you my age. So, it's like I put this up there and then I said, this totally dated me, but I used to be an NFL cheerleader for the Houston Oilers, and we participated in the grand entry before the rodeo. So I actually found a letter saying that you were in the appearance with George Strait. So that was kind of cool. Just my claim to fame, which, is really kind of fun. So events leading up to the rodeo, Go Texan Day, which again, because of COVID, there's a lot of precautions. So Go Texan Day, a lot of companies used to have Go Texan Day around February, which, we may or may not, we're still talking about it. And now we'll probably have to do it on Zoom. So you wear your cowboy hats, bring your boots and your Western wear. And they have this at school, which is a tradition, which of course, throughout COVID, it's a little bit sad that some of these things haven't happened. And then we had the rodeo run. So if some of you might have participated or had seen in the past, it used to be the ConocoPhillips used to sponsor it. So that in 2018, there were like 9,000 participants. just in wheelchairs. So everybody from Houston comes out and runs. It's a 10K or a 5K. And since pretty much 1988, nearly $5 million have contributed to the rodeo for education. And then the downtown parade. So every February since 1938, basically the nation's fourth largest city in the world transforms into an area where there's decorative floats, there's high steppers, there's bands, and then there's cowboys and cowgirls on their horses. So this event usually happens around the 23rd of February. Again, I think they're looking at it, but it's not something that's like in the books right now. And then the trail ride. So basically all the trails lead to Houston. Since 1952, 4 men traveled in horseback from Brenham, Texas, just to raise awareness of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. And now more than 2,000 trail riders come from about 12 different areas of the city, and they all meet in downtown Houston. And usually they meet the day before the rodeo starts. So the Saturday morning, sorry, is the parade. It kind of kicks off everything. So again, another event which I'm not quite 100% sure if we're going to have or not. And then the main attractions. So like I said, you could literally go to the rodeo for 20 days and do one of these things every single day. So the horse shows, it's world class. Athletes from all over the world come to show off what they've been training for the whole year. And then the carnival. So I'm sure most of you have been to the carnival. I still love to go on the big, huge Ferris wheel. It reminds me of The Notebook. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. So that's always so much fun. And then all the food and all the rides and even my teenage kids still like it. Then the livestock show, which is really world class, where they raise heifers, where they have the birthing center, they have I love watching those little pigs and then the mom, and it's really an exciting time. And then a lot of you, if you haven't gone, I would say this is a lot of fun for adults, which is the wine garden is what it's called. But their official name is Rodeo and Court. So this is where they have, a lot of fine wines, a lot of food that you could partake in prior to the rodeo actual concert event and then right after. So this is something that is available to all of us every day, even if you just enter the main entrance. And then of course, I think this slide always gives me chills because when they start the national anthem, I'm sorry, was somebody gonna say something? No, okay. So when they start the national anthem, you have the trick riders, the girls that usually carry the American flag, and they're going around the whole arena. The lights come down, everyone takes off their hat and sings the Star Spangled Banner. It is really an amazing sight. So now the rodeo officially starts. So now we're going to talk about the showcasing of the Western heritage. Really, highly trained athletes come from all over the world to partake in 8 separate competitive events. The competition is very fierce, and the prize money is one of a kind. It's the highest in the world. So that's why the rodeo is so important, not only for the education, but also for the athletes all around the world. So these are the 8 events, which, this is more of a lesson even to me when I started doing this, because I see it, I kind of pay attention, but I really didn't know how detailed and intricate all these events can be. So this tied down roping was inspired by a method of gathering cattle for medical treatment. It's a timed event, and it requires a horse and the rider to be in sync. This is really working together, catch and tie down the runaway calf. And as you can see down there, the fastest cowboy wins. So that might be a theme that you might see. So the bareback riding is one of the second events. I think I try to put this in order of the events. Okay, let me move my little thing again. So this really tests the cowboy's ability to hang on without any equipment, as you can see right here. So this was inspired by breaking in new horses. So cowboys back in the day used to just get on these horses and see what they can do. And again, the fastest cowboy wins. They have to stay on for 8 seconds. And this event right here is the only one that the cowboys work together. So team roping is a timed event where teamwork is really important. The first cowboy has to rope the horns, has to rope the rope around the horns. And then the second cowboy on the back legs. And then the saddle bronc riding, this really traces back to Western heritage, the Wild West, when cowboys would just throw the saddle on their horses and break them in. And then steer wrestling, this is a speed event where the cowboys tackle and flip a 600-pound runaway steer. The cowboy jumps off his horse at full speed, brings the animal down to the ground, and he's timed on ability and skill and time, of course. And then barrel racing, this is so much fun. I have several friends who have daughters that do this, and I think it's just amazing. It's an all-women's rodeo event, and it requires the lady to work very closely with the horse to make sure that it goes as fast as it can. And she has to ride around the 3 barrels arranged in a triangle and then ride out and enter the arena at full speed. Bull riding. So a lot of times I think I go to the rodeo and go straight to the bull riding just because it's so much fun. I know it's a very dangerous sport, but it's really exciting and fun. I mean, these cowboys face off against a raging bull that weighs over 2,000 pounds. So they have to reach 8-second whistle, and their times, again, are ability and skill, or else they're bucked off. And you see that loud on the speakers. The calf scramble. So this is a lot of other events after the main event. So you've got the calf scramble here where 30 4-H and FFA students come to tackle 15 calves. And whoever goes to the finish line, it's kind of wild and crazy, and the calves are like pulling the kids. It's kind of entertaining. They win about $1,750 to purchase another heifer for the next year for their FFA opportunity. And chuck wagon races, this again is strong ties to Western heritage, where they race the chuck wagons, whereas before in the Wild West, they used to bring the chuck wagons full of food, and once the food was given out, they would race just for fun. And then mutton busting. So if you have a child that's under, I believe it's like 8 years old, they can compete. You just apply online for the rodeo and they can ride these sheep, and it's so cute. They hold on for dear life. And at the end, it's boys and girls. These sheep sometimes flip them around. They're still holding on like for dear life because they want to win that gold belt buckle. So that's a really cute event. And then of course, the world-class concerts. So every year the lineup is different. This year, the lineup is still to be determined. So someone asked me this question last time, are we going to have a concert at the rodeo? And the answer is, I'm not sure. They're still planning on having the rodeo. The dates have changed, but the rodeo itself should still take place. I know they're doing exhibitions right now, like in a private setting. So they're exhibiting the animals a little bit more privately than the years before. But when you go to the concert, you'll see some of the biggest country stars and pop stars like Tim McGraw, George Strait, Pitbull, Cardi B, Chris Stapleton, and a lot more. And this is all for a great cause. So each year, more than 800 scholarships are awarded to students by the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, and it's one of the largest scholarships provider in the US. And this is all for any students in the Texas university system. So I'm also giving speeches about scholarships to high schools. There's so much money out there that we really encourage the students to go apply online for scholarships, junior show exhibitors, education grant programs, and graduate assistantships. So there's some of the top colleges and universities, but there's also, I have it here, there's about 74 universities or more that they could apply to. Okay, so I hope that I inspired you to go to the rodeo. There's so much history with the rodeo. Remember the 4 pillars: agriculture, entertainment, education, and Western heritage. And again, the main event is May 4th to May 23rd, and it starts with the grand entry. There's a lot of things to do. Like I said, there's the wine garden, the carnival, you can shop. There's tons of things to do. And then you don't have to remember all this. So I know I talked basically for 20 minutes straight. So that's a lot. So you can download the app and it tells you everything you need to know. So and you just go to www.rodeohouston.com. So again, thank you all for having me. I'm Angelica Reed and I'm on the speakers committee, and I hope to see you guys out there. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, when do the tickets go on sale, or do they even know yet?
That has not been announced, because I know the only people that are going right now are the private, like the people that have been badged at the beginning. But I would go on the website and I could find out for you. I can email Bill back just with the right answer.
Yeah.
Since they moved everything, I mean, that has not been like an announcement or anything.
Well, I'm sure there's still plenty of questions yet to be resolved and answered. And do you want to speak a little bit more about the scholarship program and so forth, and the amount of money that is given annually?
Yes, so let me have that actually open for just the dates so that everybody has the dates. Okay, so the amount of money basically that any scholars could actually get for themselves is $20,000 value. So they have to apply every semester for the money for $5,000. But there's a criteria, and they can, once they apply online, they're actually put in a pool for all the scholarships. So it isn't like a specific, but it could be children who have a military mom or dad, and it could be for, they have to meet the criteria.
Okay.
Let me tell you the deadline real quick. Let's see. And they could apply for up to $16,000 as an achievement scholarship continuation through the years, through the 4 years. It has to be a degree plan, a 4-year degree plan. Okay, where is my deadline? Oh, here's the application. Okay. Let's see. And they have to be student born. If a student was born outside of the US, they have to verify their US citizenship.
Okay.
So that's one of the criterias. And then, okay, so it opened up on December 7th, and applications started to be received as of February 22nd, and the official closure is March 1st for the application. And then the names are given in May.
Okay.
But if you know of anybody, or you have any, family members who have student that's about to graduate and they might be eligible, I would say, go ahead and apply. A lot of times what I heard, I've been in some of the presentations where a scholar has been given the award. What I've heard is that, it depends on family members. It depends on where they are. And a lot of family members can, afford their house, afford their everything, but they hit that threshold and their student will be eligible for this application.
Okay.
So I would encourage anyone that knows of any students to apply.
Okay. Do anybody else have any further questions? I'm not, I can't see any hands up, but I'm not on view for.
Oh, here's the chat. Okay, my chat had disappeared from the world. There it is. Okay, I don't think I see any questions.
Dakota Stormer.
Yeah. Hey, Angelica. So I'm really interested in some of the education stuff you were talking about. So with that fund that y'all raise, does that go towards solely the scholarship fund, or are there like education programs that y'all do in schools as well, or in person when students come to the rodeo, for example?
There's 3 different sections to the scholarship. Basically, the first one's the scholarships that are given, that are like 19,000 scholarships valued at $230 million since 1957 given to students.
Mm-hmm.
So more than 2,300 students on the rodeo scholarships attend about 80 different Texas universities, and that value is $50 million. And then graduate assistantship funds are awarded to specific graduate programs at various universities. So there's a couple of ways that it's split. So each university program administrators the graduate assistantship application and select process. So that since 1932 has been given 14 million of graduate assistantship program in Texas. So that's to the university. And then the junior show exhibitors, and I'm reading this since it's so many facts.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
So the education that happens outside of the classroom, that's where it supports the Texas youth who accept responsibility and demonstrate leadership. So that's been given more than 180 million to the exhibitors through premiums and CAP scramble certificates. And this is all like since 1932. So every year, of course, there's specifics. And so that's for the show exhibitors, and then education program grants. So that's where the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo provides grants to 501 charities, C and 3, and accredited institutions for higher education. This is like to keep the mission of the rodeo that all grant applications and awardees must benefit youth, support education, expand agricultural horizons, and preserve the Western heritage. So this is also grants that are given to more than 100 organizations and institutions in Texas. So those are kind of the splits of the scholarships.
Okay, that makes sense. So I was wondering if, like, I guess outside of just funding nonprofits that are doing that mission, kind of like as an award, do y'all do collaborative education programs at the Rotary or at the rodeo, and like to engage with like the students that are coming to it or anything like that? Or do y'all have like an education person that's in charge of that kind of stuff? Because I'd really be interested in learning how some of the, either Rotary partners that we work with in education or something could help out, either as in kind instead of like really trying to raise money, but just seeing, like, we already do some stuff in that space. I'd like to see if there's value we can add.
Yeah, if you want to just maybe shoot me an email directly, and then I can talk to the person that's in charge of the scholarship programs to see what other avenues there are. Because I think they had another team that went straight to the high schools to do more education, but because of coronavirus, that's kind of slowed down too. And I don't know if they had the opportunity, so I can find out for you.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay. Well, any other thoughts or questions? If not, Angelica, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Bill, for having me.
It's always a highlight to have someone from the Livestock Show and Rodeo. For some of us, we can remember when it was the Fat Stock Show. And,
I know I have a hard time saying it because I haven't been to it.
Yeah, I can remember when it was at the Coliseum and going there with Wyatt Earp and Dale Evans and Roy Rogers and so forth. So.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
But I was very young. So. But
even when I tell people about the Houston Oilers time frame, there's a lot of new blood in our organization, so they think, wow, that's a long time ago. I'm like, also it has so much history, Yeah.
What
I love about it.
Yeah. Well, it seems like the Texans are doing everything they can to bring back the Oiler way of doing business. So
that'd be good.
Yeah. Well, our